Hey everyone, my name's Abby and welcome to Brown and Bougie, the podcast about me, a brown girl living in a bougie world.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Brown and Bougie. I've got a bit of a cold, so please bear with me with my voice. I'm actually on holiday. I'm in Toronto, Canada, just going to see family, to be honest. And I had a crazy few nights at the beginning of the trip, which is why I am now ill. So I feel like it was Freshers Week and now I have Freshers Flu kind of thing. But I will channel through, and I'm here on holiday, so I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. So please bear with me with my voice. So today I just wanted to talk about something which is, it's a bit different for me to talk about, but I hope it can help people and things like that. But it was more the concept of dating. I have been single for a while, and I've probably been single longer than I have been in a relationship. But for me, dating is something that a lot of people kind of look down upon, especially like the older generation in the brown world. But then they kind of contradict themselves and kind of go, you know, you're supposed to be studying, etc., and don't date. But then the minute you finish your degree, it's kind of like, so why aren't you dating anyone? You need to get married. And I'm kind of like, you're really contradicting yourself. But luckily for me, my mum, my dad, my family are quite open. And I'm obviously aware that that doesn't work for everyone, and that's completely okay. But for me, I actually really enjoy it. It's a really nice way to meet new people and get to know people. So it's kind of one of those kind of weird, frowned upon kind of topics. But I just thought today, rather than me just talk about my experiences, because we'll be here forever if I do so, it's just more to kind of give people in the world who are single or even in a relationship or anything like that, you know, just a few tips, I guess, to kind of give them a bit of insight into what I've kind of learned as a person. I'm not saying that I know everything, and obviously not everyone's experiences are different. You know, I know people who have been together with their partner for 8-10 years. I know people who have just got into a relationship, whatever. But I think these 3 tips would probably help, and everyone can relate to it, is what I believe. I mean, I know I can relate to it, but they're things that I probably learned the hard way. So that's pretty much today's topic, and I'm going to just get straight into it. So my first, I guess, top tip is, if a guy wants to make it work, a guy or a girl wants to make it work, they will make it work. If they want to message you, they will. If they want to see you, they will. And they will make sure that they do whatever it takes to make it happen, whether that be going on a date, whether that be just picking up the phone to you and saying goodnight, whatever it is. If you are seeing someone, dating someone, whatever you want to call it, if they want to make it work, they will. And I know that it might be a really obvious and simple thing for you to say, but it's very, very true. And I actually realized this kind of my beginning time of me dating people, that I used to kind of overthink it when someone didn't message me much, or they said, you know, they were busy or something like that. And I used to take it to heart. I used to be like, oh my God, maybe it's because they're not into me or something like that. And I used to kind of overthink the whole situation. Now I've got to a point where I'm like, okay, you know, if they don't want to make the effort, then that's fine. I mean, it's not on me. They might have a valid reason, whatever. But if they do want to make it work, eventually they will get to a point where they will try their best too. They will make sure that they ask you what days you're free, what times you're free, and even if they come to see you, for example, for 1 hour, they still would make that work. Does that make sense? And the thing is, like, I know that it's a very simple and supposedly obvious thing for me to say, but honestly, people overthink things, especially when you're getting to know someone, because once you really like someone, it's not that you're like thinking about the future and like overthinking everything. It's not like that, but it's just you kind of begin to think that, oh, maybe I did something wrong, and that's human nature. Human nature is, you know, rather than saying that, you know, there's something wrong with them, immediately we kind of just say, oh, it's something to do with me, right? So it's just one of those things which it's all about the effort that you put in is what you get out, right? When it comes to dating someone and stuff. So I guess that was probably my first top tip. Okay, my second top tip is a message and a lesson that I want everyone to know, that don't settle for something if that's not what you want. The reason why I'm going to say this is, like I said, brown people do pressure their kids a lot to get married at a specific age or to have kids at a specific age or whatever it is, right? I have cousins, friends and things like that who their parents were kind of like started drilling it into them that, oh my God, now you're 25, you have to get married in the next couple of years. And there is no time limit. There's no time limit to when you find happiness with being with someone or things like that. So it's not fair to you that you should feel rushed to settle with someone. If that person is not what you want, and if that person is like, you know, they are good on paper, but you don't feel a spark with them, don't settle. Don't do it, because you're the one who's going to live your life for the rest of your life with this person, right? So do not do that. Don't do that, because you deserve better than that. And it doesn't matter how good or bad of a person you are. I strongly believe that you should never get into a relationship which you don't want to, because it will just cause trouble and drama in the future. You're better off taking your time, maybe getting married supposedly later in round kind of timing or whatever, but it's better for you to find someone that you get along with and you want to spend the rest of your life with and you can live with and things like that, because you deserve better than that, and that's what it's about. And so if ever you are not ready to be in a relationship, or you are not ready to date someone, or you meet someone and yeah, they're good on paper and you know that, for example, your parents will love them, they're smart, they're clever and whatever it is, but if you don't have a spark and you don't get along with that person, it is honestly okay, and that's not your fault. So don't ever settle thinking my mum or dad will like this guy or this girl, and so for that reason I will marry them, because it's about you. It's about you and your life and your future, right? Because imagine, like, just say you settled for someone and then a few years' time you just don't want to be there, you're going to hate your life, and that's not fair to you. You have one life and you've got to live it properly. And our parents say the things that they say because they want us to be happy. And I guess back in the day, especially if you're a girl, a parent will have a kid and their goal is to get her married off. That's the goal. So for them, that's why they say what they say. Does that make sense? So as far as I'm concerned, everyone in this world deserves all the happiness they can get. And that starts with you. That starts with you saying, no, I don't want to go out with this guy, or I don't want this guy because I just don't feel a spark, and it's okay. And don't worry about hurting the other person, because it might be that you kind of got to be selfish in perspectives like this. And yeah, it might not be the most conventional thing to do, but you've got to do it for yourself, right? So I guess my kind of second top tip is don't settle, because you always deserve better. My last, I guess, top tip is if it's meant to be, it will happen. It's one of those things where it's super cliched for me to say 100%, and I will not disagree with you. When everyone said that to me when I was younger, I just kind of rolled my eyes and I was like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. But honestly, there are some things you can't force. You can't force the way someone feels about you. You can't force the way you feel about someone. And you can't force things because it never goes the way you want it to. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes people try too hard, and I'm not even gonna lie. I have been the person sometimes to try more than I should have. And I've had guys who try more than they should have with me. And I kind of realised that it kind of, I guess, ties in with my first point, that if someone wants to make it work, they will, so you've got to just let it be. But then it's weird because contradictory side of it, I guess, is a lot of people will say to me that, you know, don't go looking out for it. And, you know, the best things in life will happen when you least expect it. And I'm sure that's true. But then you've also got to remember that I always crack the joke whenever someone says that to me and I say, what do you want me to do? Just sit in my bed and expect someone to knock on my door? Like, obviously, you've got to create yourself opportunities. So go to parties, and if you want, you use dating apps, and whatever works for you, go and meet new people 100%. But then don't force it from that part, right? So once you've got the opportunity, embrace it. But then don't force the opportunity to become, I guess, the solution to the problem. Does that make sense? And it's one of those things where it is very hard to figure out what exactly is going to happen, or how it can happen and things like that. But I do believe that if it's meant to be, it will happen. So you've always got to remember that you just got to let it go and just go with the flow And if you get along with someone and you end up dating them and everything works out, then happy days for you. But relationships with everybody, and I'm sure if you think about your friends, your parents, and things like that, you will know that everyone's dating lives have been so different. No one story of love, I guess, is the same. Not one. And I'm sure that every person who's in a relationship will always say to you that it just happened and it was the best thing that ever did happen to them, kind of thing. So always remember that. But you've got to learn that just be yourself and just be honest and be truthful to yourself, and that's all you've got to do. And if someone likes that part of you, then you've just lucked out, and that's how it is. I guess those are my 3 top tips of dating, but you've always got to just remember that you have to just be yourself, and it's about self-value, because everyone deserves happiness in their own way. But like I said, if dating is not for you, if being in a relationship isn't for you, and you are, for example, more career focused and you want to do more, do it 100%. But everyone's wants and needs are different, right? So that's, I guess, my advice. Not that I am super experienced to give advice, but this is just what I've learned in the last however many years. So that's what I really had to say. Now for my tune of the day / my tutida session. I wanted to do a Tamil song this time, talking about dating. One of my kind of guilty pleasures of songs are from the Tamil movie Boys. So I believe Boys came out in 2003. The music director for Boys is A.R. Rahman. So if you aren't Tamil, actually, I should probably give you a bit of a background. But how Tamil music generally tends to work is we don't have artists and songs, we have movies and songs. So whatever the soundtrack for the movie is, those are the songs that Tamil people listen to and things like that. It's not that, oh, yeah, you're an artist and you have a CD. It doesn't really work like that normally. It's kind of becoming a thing in the, say, last past 5 to however many years. But normally it's, you have a movie soundtrack and that's the songs that Tamil people listen to. So that's how it works. So one of my favourite kind of songs from the album Boys, one of the songs is actually called Dating, which is very fitting to today's podcast. But from the Boys album, I love the song And I Got a Girlfriend. But it's one of those super catchy songs that is really well sung, by the way. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed it, but that song, the singer for that song is a guy called Karthik, who's actually really good at what he does. But because it's such a upbeat, peppy song, the quality of the words and the lyrics and stuff gets lost. So it's one of those songs that I actually really, really enjoy. It's super catchy, like everyone loves it. And it's one of those songs where, you know, like on a summer's day, you would blast it on in your car kind of thing and roll the windows down and just dance. Like, it's one of those songs, right? So I hope you enjoy it. But today's tune of the day is And I Got a Girlfriend. Thanks again. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my SoundCloud channel, and also follow me on Instagram at brownandbougie__. I hope you all have a great day wherever you are. I'm sending all the love, all the positive vibes, and stay smiling, stay you, and don't forget to tune in next time. See you soon. Bye.
Pole 16 எனக்கொரு girlfriend வேணும் இன்று புதிதாக விழுந்த மலர் போல எனக்கொரு girlfriend வேணும் இணைய காலத்தில் கணினி காலத்தில் நெஞ்சல் அரட்டைகள் அடிக்கணுமே வியர்வை வழிந்தால் மழையில் எனக்கொரு girlfriend வேணுமாடா எனக்கொரு girlfriend வேணுமாடா Girlfriends that are boys and boost and lava Girlfriends illava que ves lava வேணும் 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 பால் போலே எனக்கு ஒரு girlfriend வேணுமாடா, எனக்கு ஒரு girlfriend வேணும்.